Okay, so the relationship between the lowering of vapor pressure and concentration. So concentration, when we are saying what we are dealing with the mole fraction. In the previous video I told you what to mean by mole fraction. So concentration means the mole fraction over here. So the relationship between the lowering, that is when the vapor pressure is been lowered, and concentration, the relationship between concentration and vapor pressure, it is given by the scientist, that is Rowlett, and the law is called as the Rowlett's law. So this was given, we studied is under Rowlett's law. Now we studied under again in different parts. So first is Rowlett's law. For solutions containing volatile liquids. For solutions containing volatile liquids. That means when your solution is having the solvent, when the solution is all volatile in nature. Now let's imagine that this is a container over here. And there are particles present over here. Particles of, let these be particles of A, particles of B, particles of C. So the pressure exerted by A will be called as a partial pressure of A, will be represented by A. Pressure exerted by B will be called as a partial pressure of B, and we call it as PB. Pressure exerted by C, we call this as partial pressure of C, and we represent it by PC. So these are the three types of liquids which are present into the container. Three liquids, A, B and C, and their partial pressures are A, B and C. That is, partial pressures are PA, PB and PC. Now these partial pressures, suppose of this particular over here, if the mole fraction is more, what will happen? The partial pressure will be more. If the mole fraction of if the mole fraction of A will be less, partial pressure will be less. Same thing, partial pressure of B. It is dependent on the mole fraction of B. If mole fraction is more, mole fraction of B is more, partial pressure of B will be more. If mole fraction of B is less, partial pressure of B will be less. That is why we are not calling it as a total pressure, we are calling it as a partial pressure. Why partial pressure? Because if suppose three different liquids are there, and three different liquids are having three different concentrations. So if different concentrations are there of three different liquids, obviously the mole fraction will be different, and if the mole fraction will be different, we'll find that their partial pressures will also be different. So we can say, according to the Rowlett's law, it is for a solution containing volatile solute or containing volatile liquids, the partial vapor pressure is the partial vapor pressure of each component. The partial vapor pressure of each component. Why each component? Because many components are there. That is A, B and C. Many different liquids are there. Many different types of solvents are there. The partial vapor pressure of each component in the solution is directly proportional. To the mole fraction. Of each component. It is directly proportional to the mole fraction of each component in the solution. Clear? That is, if the solution is having many types of liquids, so the partial pressure of each liquid the partial vapor pressure of each liquid is dependent on the number of moles, and if it is dependent on number of moles, that means the number of mole fraction, so it is directly proportional to the mole fraction of each component in the solution. So this is the Rowlett's law for the solutions containing the volatile liquids. Now just imagine, I'm just rubbing it off. If the solution contained many components, and so we can say A, B, C, let it be many components up till I. So what can we say if there is a ith component? Many components are there. So let Pi be the vapor pressure or partial vapor pressure of the ith component. Ith, you can write down in this way, that is ith component. So here in this case, and let Pi be the vapor pressure of the ith component and chi I. For the mole fraction we have been using the sign chi. So if it is Pi be the vapor pressure of the ith component, so we can say that is chi I be the mole fraction of ith component. Now what did Rowlett say? According to his law, the vapor pressure is directly proportional to the mole fraction of each component. So I is one of the components, so we can write down over here that is Pi is proportional to chi I. Therefore, Pi is equals to constant into chi I, that is the mole fraction of I. Now, if suppose the component is if this component is extremely pure, so if it is pure, Pi is equals to Pi 0. So here, what does this Pi means? Where Pi 0 is the vapor pressure when the component is extremely pure. Now if the component is extremely pure, that is 100% pure, then what we'll say, that is this value of chi I will be equal to 1. If this component is 100% pure, then chi I will be taken as 1. I repeat once again, Pi, that is the vapor pressure of ith component, is equals to the vapor pressure of the component when it is extremely pure, where Pi 0 is the vapor pressure when the component is extremely pure, or when the vapor pressure of the component we can write down this way also, of the component which is extremely pure. Now if this component is extremely pure, that is 100% pure, no impurities are present, so that will be mole fraction, we take it as 1. So mole fraction of I will be taken as 1. So what we will be writing down over here, Pi is equals to this, that is constant, into 1. So we get Pi is equals to constant. Therefore, Pi is equals to, Pi is also equal to Pi 0 according to this. So Pi 0 is equals to constant. We get this value over here. So further we can write down what? Pi is equals to Pi 0 into chi I. If we substitute the value of this constant over here. So what can we say according to the Rowlett's law? Now we derived an equation and we got a relationship, that is the partial vapor pressure of the ith component is equal to the product of the component in the extremely pure state and the mole fraction of the ith component. This is what this equation says. I repeat once again, I am not writing down again such a big statement on the board, but let me explain you. That is this Pi is what? Vapor pressure of the ith component, And this is what? Vapor pressure of the ith component when it is extremely pure. What is chi I? Chi I is a mole fraction. So what does this law states now? We get this relationship, that is the vapor pressure of the ith component is equal to the product of the vapor pressure of the component when it is extremely pure and the mole fraction of the ith component. That is a product between the two. So this is the restated law of the Rowlett's law. We begin from somewhere and we get an equation, and then we get a relationship between this vapor pressure of the ith component and the vapor pressure of the component when it is in the extremely pure state and the mole fraction. Alright, now look here, that is so this is the relationship, or this is the law for the components which is containing the volatile liquids. So we can say if the solution is containing volatile liquids, this relationship holds good, and this is the Rowlett's law. But suppose, let's consider if a component is if a solution is having many components. Let's consider, let me rub it off over here. If the solution is having two components, solution having two components, let these components be A and B. Okay, now let PA with a vapor pressure of component A PB with the vapor pressure of component, I am writing down in short, of component B, then P0A is the vapor pressure of component A in pure state, and P0B is the vapor pressure of component B in pure state. Chi A is the mole fraction of component A, and chi B is the mole fraction of component B. So according to this equation, what this will take the form now? Look here, that is PA will be what? PA0 into chi A. Therefore, PB, that is vapor pressure due to B, will be what? PB0 into chi B. I repeat once again, that is vapor pressure due to A is equals to vapor pressure of the component A when it is in the pure state, and the product into what? Into the mole fraction of A, and vapor pressure of B is equals to what? Product of vapor pressure of B when it is in the pure state and mole fraction of B. So these are the partial vapor pressures of A and B, and total pressure, let us consider, that is total pressure. Therefore, total pressure P will be what? That is PA plus PB. So what we will be doing over here? That is P will be what? PA is what? P0A into chi A plus P0B into chi B. This will be giving us the total pressure due to the two components, that is A and B. This is B over here. Understood everyone? So this is the relationship that we get for the solutions containing the components or the solvents which are volatile in nature. Now this is applicable, this law is, or this relationship is applicable only when these volatile liquids are completely miscible. Only when volatile liquids are completely miscible. If these liquids are not completely miscible, then this law will not be applicable. So with this we complete with the Rowlett's law for the volatile liquids or the solutions containing the volatile solvents. We move on to the next part of the Rowlett's law. That is for Rowlett's law for solutions. For solutions containing non-volatile solutes. Okay. Now if a solution contains non-volatile solute, that means there is a strong intermolecular force of attraction between the solute particles. Obviously they are not going to form the vapor pressure. No vapor will be formed, no pressure will be there. So obviously in this particular case the vapor pressure will be totally dependent on the vapor pressure of the solvent. Alright, so we can write down over here, that is vapor pressure of solution is equals to the vapor pressure of solvent. Whatever the pressure has been created is due to the pressure of the solvent, where the solute is not taking any part because the solute is a non-volatile solute. So therefore we can write down that is the pressure of the solution is equals to the pressure of the solvent, and we've already studied that pressure of a component is equal to the, if the component is very much pure, so P0 of the solvent into mole fraction, that is mole fraction of the solvent. Just some time back I told you, any component which is present, if the vapor pressure of that component is equal to the product of the component in the pure state and the mole fraction of the component. So this is what it shows, the product of in the pure state. So what can we say? This is the vapor pressure of solution. This P represents vapor pressure of solution. So vapor pressure of solution is equal to vapor pressure of solvent. Why vapor pressure of solvent? Because solute is not taking any part into this, which is equal to the what? Product of the vapor pressure of component or vapor pressure of solvent when it is pure. When pure. And this is what? Mole fraction of solvent. Clear? So what can we say now? The Rowlett's law, it can be said that the vapor pressure of a solution containing a non-volatile solute is equal to the product of the vapor pressure of the solvent in the pure state and the mole fraction of the solvent. I repeat once again, the vapor pressure of the solution containing a non-volatile solute is equal to the product of the vapor pressure of the component or the vapor pressure of the solvent in pure state and the mole fraction of the solvent. Or it can also be said that the vapor pressure of the solution is equal to the vapor pressure of the solvent, which is equal to the product of the vapor pressure of the solvent when in the pure state and to the mole fraction of the solvent. Clear? From this relationship, we can just state the Rowlett's law now. As I just said, I am not writing down such a big statement again on the board. Now just see that when the component is very much pure, that is P0 is a constant. P0, because the component is pure, so this P0 will be a constant because it's pure. So P of solvent, that is vapor pressure of solvent, will be proportional to mole fraction of the solvent. If this is what? Constant. Let's consider this is a constant. So P of solvent is proportional to this mole fraction of the solvent. So from here we get a relationship. What is the relationship? Vapor pressure of a solution containing a non-volatile solute is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the solvent. I repeat, P of solvent is what? Vapor pressure of the solvent is what? Vapor pressure of the solvent is equal to what? Vapor pressure of solution, which we are showing in this term over here. So vapor pressure of solvent is equal to the vapor pressure of the solution. So we can say what? Vapor pressure of the solution containing non-volatile solute is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the solvent. Clear? So, and suppose if we are having a binary mixture, if the mixture is binary, having two, that is having a solute as well as a solvent. So what can we write down if a solute, if this is a binary mixture? Let me, I just rubbed it off by mistake. Let me just write down over here once again, that is P of, P is equals to P of solvent, which is equals to P0 into chi of solvent. This was the relationship, the first equation just now, which I wrote it on the board. Now suppose if there is a binary mixture, for binary mixture, if the mixture is binary, that means it is containing a solvent as plus a solute. Therefore, chi of solute plus chi of solvent will be taken it as 1. Therefore, chi of solvent plus chi of solvent is equals to 1. Therefore, chi of solvent is equals to 1 minus chi of solute. So this we get another relationship. So we'll substitute this into this equation over here. So we can write down over here, that is P is equals to P0 into this 1 minus chi of solute. Yes. So this will be P upon P0 is equals to 1 minus chi of solute. Therefore, I am writing down over here on this side, that is 1 minus P by P0 is equals to chi of solute. Therefore, P0 minus P upon P0 is equals to chi of solute, or the mole fraction of solute. Now this P minus P0 upon P0, it is P0 minus P relates what? Lowering in vapor pressure. Minus sign is there, so it is what? Vapor pressure has been lowered. And this P0 over here is what? That is the vapor pressure of the component when it is in the extremely pure state. So we are relating this. That is lowering in vapor pressure. We are relating to the vapor pressure of the component when it is pure. So what can we say? That is the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of the solute. So from this we get a relationship or the law given by Rowletts, that is the relative lowering of vapor pressure of a solution which is a binary mixture containing a volatile solvent and a non-volatile solute is equal to the mole fraction of the solute. I repeat once again, that is the Rowletts law for the solutions containing non-volatile solute and a volatile solvent. What does it state? We get this relationship over here, that is the relative lowering of vapor pressure of a solution which is a binary mixture. Binary mixture means what? Containing a solute and a solvent, which is a binary mixture. This is equal to the mole fraction of the solvent. So let me write down this, although it's a very big law, but still let me write it down so it will be more clear with you people. I'm writing down over here. So Rowletts law for binary solutions, that is the relative lowering pressure, the relative lowering of vapor pressure for a solution which is a binary mixture, containing a volatile solvent and non-volatile solute. This can be written in the bracket. This is for your understanding. For a binary mixture containing a volatile solvent and non-volatile is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the solute. So either you can just simply state the relative lowering of vapor pressure for a solution which is a binary mixture is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the solute. This is for your understanding, that is the mixture is containing a volatile solvent and a non-volatile solute. So here this is the Rowlett's law for the solution containing a non-volatile solute. We complete this part. Thank you. We'll proceed further in the next video.